Melick.
Hello, welcome back. That's right, it is the Renewal Home Show. Hi, my name is Jared Melick. I am with you today to talk to you about all things home improvement and construction here at the Renewal Home Show. Thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate it. And we are joined today by Chelsea Rakuzik. She's the Director of Marketing for Renewal by Andersen of Central Florida. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me today.
We appreciate you joining us for sure. We are going to talk today about green stuff, about good quality materials that are good for the environment, and we're going to talk about specifically about window replacement and how Renewal by Andersen has tackled the green movement having to do with home improvement products, specifically about windows and doors. Thank you so much for spending today with us.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun day.
All right. Plus, we have a special. You guys are doing a special for our listeners, for the Renewal Home Show listeners. You're not going to want to miss it. Listen to today's show. There is a great special for our listeners and specifically for callers. If you're thinking about replacing your windows, you definitely need to listen to today's show, and we're going to have a special for you coming up.
Yes.
Okay. So we hear all about green products and specifically about things that are good for the environment, things that are sustainable. And I don't know that people think about replacement windows as being at one of the things at the top of the list, but it is.
It is at the top of the list. There's a lot of things that go into being green. I know a lot of people are a lot more aware about, what they're buying, what they're purchasing, how much they're recycling, what they're putting back into the environment. And Renewal by Andersen takes great pride. We are actually Green Seal certified. We're one of the first and only window companies to be Green Seal certified. We also are the Energy Star Partner of the Year, which is a huge award, and we're very happy to let everyone know about that award. We take great pride in our energy efficiency. But one of the ways that we're environmental is that we have a smart use of energy. So we help with in-home energy savings, cutting electrical bills. Our windows have that much more ability to keep the heat in when you're heating your home and keep the cool in when you're cooling your home, which here in Florida, I know we typically have our AC running a lot more than anything else. So we want to make sure that the cool stays in and you're not paying for cooling the outdoors and your neighbor's dog. So we want to help you, keep it that way and keep your costs low.
Energy efficiency is one of the main ways to be green, because what happens is consumption of energy. That is where it's at. If you have the energy efficient materials, for example, if you have a window and door that restricts heat transfer from one area to the other, the more the cool stays in or the heat stays in, depending on what time of year it is, the less you're using that air conditioner, that heating system, the less your energy bills are going to be, which means that's less that the power company has to actually make.
It is, and the less you have to pay them, which is even better. And not only can you shrink your energy bills, you can also shrink your carbon footprint. And the average that we have is 12% nationwide compared to non-certified products. So we take great pride in that. We know that everybody's trying to do their part, and this is just one way we're trying to do ours.
So by reducing the amount of energy that people consume, they're also affecting the green, which is their pocketbook.
Yes. Two greens, the environment and their pocketbook, which it's a win-win situation.
Now, also, I know the next one is actually indoor air quality, which this is really big right now. There are a lot of products that affect indoor air quality in a negative way, but Renewal by Andersen, your guys' window replacement, affects it in a positive.
Right, and I know a lot of people, specifically who have children or friends or their parents, they have asthma or health issues, so they have to be very specific about the air quality that they have, especially within their home, just to try and stay healthy and make sure that they can live their day-to-day lives on a normal basis. And we were the first window companies to receive the SCS Global Service Indoor Advantage Gold certification. So it's the strictest indoor air emission standard in the country. So this certification guarantees that products contribute to a healthy and safe indoor environment, which is important to everyone.
The thing is that when it comes to windows and doors, it's a huge hole in the side of the house, and if it's not sealed properly, then you can have the outside contaminants actually come into the inside. You want to be able to control where air is coming in and where it's going out in order to truly affect air quality in a positive way.
Right. And I had always been somewhat skeptical, to be honest. And then I ended up replacing my windows with Renewal by Andersen. And I was shocked at how much less I was dusting my home. And what that told me is that all that dust that had been getting into my home was coming in through my windows and through my doors that I thought had been sealed. And I come to find out that they weren't. So I'm really glad that I had ended up replacing my windows and doors. I was replacing any of the vents and the seals that I had for my air conditioning to be running. I didn't have to replace that as often, the filter, and I had better quality in my home, and I was dusting less, which is always better.
So not only do you work for them, but you're also a customer
Yes.
of Renewal by Andersen.
I am. I'm a believer. So I believe if you're going to represent a product, you really want to stand behind it. And so I had the windows installed in my home, and I'm a true believer in the product 100%.
Now, I'm sure that you got a special very similar to what we're giving the special to the Renewal by Andersen listeners. You're not going to believe this. Renewal by Andersen has agreed just for our listeners to give them 30% off the entire order.
We have. I think, we were drinking or something this morning, but we decided to do a 30% off your entire order. We never give an offer like this. It's only for the show, only to the listeners, and it's to the first 7 callers that call in. So make sure you have a pen and a pad of paper out, or your cell phone in the notes section there.
But not if you're driving.
Yes.
If you're driving, do not type this in, but you got to pull over. In fact, we'll give you about 20 seconds if you want to get to a safe area. We don't want to cause anybody to wreck or anything if you're driving. But you can also, that's a good thing about voice recorders on cell phones now is that you can do it that way. But
the phone number, it's 888-713-7210. And I'll give it to you again just in case you didn't pull over yet. It's 888-713-7210. And that's 30% off your entire project. So make sure to call us today because we never do offers like this. And we're just trying to reach out and show thanks to the listeners of the show.
Yeah, so it's only for our Renewal Home Show listeners. And again, it's the first 7 callers, 888-713-7210. And for more information, you can visit the website, which is renewalbyandersen.com. You can get more information about Renewal by Andersen through that. But the offer is not available actually through the website. You have to specifically call this one number. This one number is the only way that you get the 30% offer, and it's 888-713-7210. And we will be giving that number sometime between now and the end of the show. And so if you missed it and you want to get to a place that's safe to be able to write it down, you can do that. You can't Google to find this number. It's only available here through the Renewal Home Show. We'll give it the number out again here in just a moment. So we're talking about green today, specifically about green products and how Renewal by Andersen is one of those great green products.
Right.
And so what's the next thing that makes you guys green?
So the next thing is the smart use of our materials. So we talk about Fibrex material a lot, what it's made out of, and the fact that we are 40% reclaimed wood fiber as well as 60% thermopolymer. Well, that 40% reclaimed wood fiber, it comes from our wood fiber and our wood industry plants at Andersen Corporation. So what they do is they have these giant machines where they're working on the wood windows all day at other parts of Andersen, and they collect them in this giant bag, and it's pretty neat to see how they do it. And then all of those wood fibers actually get sent to Renewal by Andersen so we can reuse that in our windows.
This is really pretty amazing. So what had happened is over the years with Andersen, they make a lot of wood products, even today. And so every time that you cut the wood, there's sawdust that within the cuts, or there's small trim pieces or small ends that can't actually be used in other areas. And so what Andersen decided to do is they decided to come up with a material that actually used all of that wood waste. So rather than take all of that that material that is not usable somewhere else and just throw it away and build up the landfills and cause a huge amount of waste, Andersen decided to collect that material and come up with a wood material that doesn't rot called Fibrex.
Right. And it's really neat. It's like a giant vacuum inside of all their wood manufacturing plants. And it's great to see that they're doing something good for the company, not only for the company, but also, for the environment. What that does is that wood gets reused and goes into a durable, strong product that they can be proud of, that cuts costs and energy bills for other homeowners, but also cuts costs for the plants and the energy that they use that they would have otherwise put towards getting rid of all those wood fibers.
And that cost cutting comes down to the consumer, so that way you can get a great durable product at a reasonable price.
Right.
So the sustainability of material and about reusing or recycling, they're taking what would be waste and actually using it to fabricate the product into a long-term durable product. And the thing is that they went through this process for years and years and years, perfecting it before it was actually brought out to the public.
Yeah, they've been testing it for a long time. The Fibrex material now has been around for just going over 20 years, but they had tested it for at least 10 years before they made it available to build windows and doors out of, before they started releasing it to the public. So it's something that we're very proud of, because we know that we took the time to make sure that we're doing it right, and that we're doing it right the first time for the benefit of our customers. We stand behind it. I know we had been talking offline about people who've had their windows replaced even after only getting new ones installed as short as 6 months ago. And our product will last, and that's another way that we're energy efficient. So instead of having to worry about replacing your windows even after 10 years, we have longevity. So that means you put us in your home, we're going to stay and we're going to last. So we believe in doing it once and doing it right, and we stand behind that 100%.
Now, you guys actually, Renewal by Andersen specifically, the window replacement division of Andersen Corporation, started installing Renewal by Andersen windows over 20 years ago. And just recently, you guys went back to some of the customers, the original 20-plus-year-old customers, and removed some of the windows to do a test on them to see how it is that they were holding up. So how did they do?
Right. So we know that a lot can change in 20 years, but we believe that your windows and doors shouldn't. And that was definitely something that we discovered when we went back to those original customers, those test homes, everything that we had done when we first installed. We pulled the windows out. They did a rigorous testing through research and development department, and everything was just as good as the day that they installed it. And we couldn't have been more proud. They didn't need any painting. There was no warping, cracking. There were no maintenance issues with the windows whatsoever. The glass was still filled with the argon and nitrogen filling that we put in the glass. There was no seal failure. Everything was 100%.
Which is pretty amazing. Andersen, which has been in business over 100 years, been building quality products for slightly longer than I've been alive.
Slightly.
But been installing window and door products for a long time. They went and removed perfectly good windows and doors out of a home just to be able to do testing on them to make sure that the promises that they made to people, they would be able to withstand and be able to stand behind.
Right, and we do that in multiple ways as well. We remove perfectly good windows, but we also have different testing facilities throughout the U.S. in different climates. We're always testing our product. We want to make sure that it withstands the extreme cold temperatures that are up in Alaska. We want to make sure it withstands the extreme heat that's in places like Florida as well as Arizona, and desert climates as well as tropical climates. We're in the Midwest. We're also in the Northeast. So every climate there is, where they're testing our windows to make sure that it's going to last. And if there's any changes that we need to make, we can catch it up front instead of on the back half.
So the longevity of the product means that there's less of the old product in the landfill. I mean, the thing is that so many times we see that products are made to be thrown away. The life cycle is 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. But that's not the way that it is with the Andersen Renewal by Andersen Fibrex window product. It's designed to be in your home for a long time.
Right, and that's what we want to do. We want you to be proud of the home that you live in. A lot of people are choosing to stay within their homes. They're not building or switching as much. So take that money that you would have spent on a brand new home and put it back in your home so you can relove it and know that the windows are going to last just as long as you want to stay in that home and beyond, even on to the next owner. So if you ever do choose to sell it, we do offer transferable warranty, and if you have a new buyer, they can take on that warranty for the windows in the home.
So I want to talk about the warranty for a second. So many times warranties have so many loopholes, and a lot of times specifically with a window and door warranty, because most of them they're made by a manufacturer and then they're sold through some sort of distributorship, and then there's a local installer that then would purchase them, and then they may have somebody else actually installing them. But that's not the way that Renewal by Andersen does it. Renewal by Andersen specifically is the window and door replacement division of Andersen Corporation. So therefore, it's Renewal by Andersen start to finish.
Right. So from the person who you speak to on the phone when you dial the phone number that we're going to give you again later today, all the way through the design consultant who comes and helps you pick out the windows for your project, to the tech measure who comes out and measures your opening for plumb and square and to make sure that that window we give you fits your home, all the way through to the installers, and any warranty or service work that you may need. It's us 100% all the way. So we like to be your one-stop shop and make sure that we're there to ease the stress and ease the worry that a home improvement project can bring.
So it really is Renewal by Andersen start to finish, which makes a big difference. I hear nightmare stories all the time where somebody has some sort of problem with a product, and let's face it, not everybody's perfect. Things are going to screw up over time. Even whether it's a big manufacturer like Andersen or whether it's a small installer, things are going to happen.
Right.
And so the process with Renewal by Andersen, though, is that there's no finger pointing. It's not, it's this person. No, it's this person, because there isn't anybody else.
Right. It is only us. So we own it and we have 100% accountability. We even have a 2-year warranty on our installation process. Being in the window industry for a while, I have seen where other companies, they'll sell their window product, then it may be a contractor or a sub or someone else who installs the product, and they don't install it correctly. Well, now your warranty is voided because it had an incorrect installation, and now who do you go to? The main manufacturer doesn't want to back the warranty. The company who you went to doesn't want to back it because they had a sub install it. So now you're wrapped up in this whole issue trying to figure out what to do. Well, we back our installation. We have a 2-year warranty on it. If you have an issue, any issues with the project that you find, just give us a call and we'll be the ones to come out. We handle the whole situation. We know it can be stressful. We've all been there, so we want to do it right.
And there's no finger pointing, because the finger would always just point right back to you guys. There's nobody else to point to. It's like literally you guys own the whole process from start to finish. So therefore, if something's wrong, Renewal by Andersen is going to handle it, and they're going to handle it well. Right.
We're going to point our fingers back at ourselves. So it's pretty simple that way. You call it, we fix it, and that's just how it is.
So green products are much bigger today than they've ever been. So we've talked about energy efficiency. We've talked about air quality. We talked about smart use of the material, where you're not you're doing more energy efficient materials, and we're talking about a long product life cycle, so that way we're not filling a bunch of stuff with landfills. And so the green movement that we have seen really is a big deal.
It is. It helps extend the life cycle of a home by installing more energy efficient windows. You're going to have less fading, warping to any of your furniture, any of your carpets. A lot of times people who have really expensive wood flooring actually end up having to replace their wood flooring because the sun that's coming in through their windows is fading their flooring, and they don't even realize that they're having that issue. Even next to their patio doors, sometimes the sun will be coming in and the wood has recolored, or they're having issues there in their home. So with our windows and with our doors, you won't have that issue. You won't have any fading of your furniture, fading of your carpet. You don't have other expensive replacement projects that you have to do when you replace with our windows.
The other thing is that installation matters with windows and doors, and we see, I've been in construction from the time I was a little kid, and have done construction and home improvement for years and years and years, and we see that a lot of the damage that occurs to the home actually starts with the windows and doors, because whether it's the fading that you talked about, or whether it's the window or door not installed properly, and you get wood rot below it, there's a lot of problems that come from the not having the right product or having it not installed properly.
Right. We had a customer in the past who never realized that they had an issue around their window. So I always like to tell people to go do a perimeter check. Look at your house actually from the outside. Is the stucco still there, or the brick, or whatever the exterior of your home is? Is there any gaps or any warping in your window and in the frame? Because water is such an interesting thing. If there's a way for it to get in, it will get in, and you may not know that it is even getting into your home. But windows and doors are openings within your home. So if there's something not sealed, or it's warping, or it's giving away, that water, I've seen it get into the people's home and cause all sorts of issues, all the way through to their flooring, even to the interior of their walls, where we had to replace drywall before we could put the windows back in.
The number one most destructive force to a home on a national level on a yearly basis is water. Water causes more damage to homes throughout the United States than anything else. And so making sure that your home is protected from that water is a good start to that, is having a great window and door like the Renewal by Andersen product. Now, we've talked about green materials, and I gotta say, I'm not really a green guy. I think it's great, everything that you talked about, sustainable, all that stuff, and we've talked about it on the show, and that's phenomenal. But I personally am just not really a green guy. But I tell you, the best thing that I love about the Renewal by Andersen product is the green in my pocket.
Yes.
It's about the energy efficiency, where I know that I'm spending less on my power bills. I have more green in my pocket to keep because of the great energy efficient materials that Renewal by Andersen makes.
Right. And there's multiple ways to keep that green in your pocket, and not sending it out to energy companies, electrical companies, you name it, they're taking it. Is through our windows and doors, through our energy efficiency that we can guarantee, through your energy bills that are going to be less. There's also a tax rebate out there, so if you go check out the website, if you replace with our windows, just keep all the stickers that come on the windows, and there is a tax credit, as well as working with your energy company. I know my energy company offers a rebate for putting in energy efficient windows and doors. So if you just work with them, they're able to help you out, and you can get some more green back in your wallet.
That's right. And you can keep even more of that green, because they have a special right now for our Renewal Home Show listeners. All you have to do is dial 888-713-7210, and the first 7 callers are going to get 30% off the entire order.
Yes.
So whatever it is that Renewal by Andersen normally charges, it's 30% less just for our listeners. It's not just 30% off the install. It's not 30% just off the material. It's 30% off the entire order. But you have to call now. You have to be one of the first 7 callers, 888-713-7210. Again, 888-713-7210. And you guys do full replacements on all different types of houses. So whether it's a stucco house, or whether it's siding, or whether they have aluminum windows now, or wood windows and doors, or all types of materials, you guys replace them.
Yep, you name it, we do it. So we are a custom window. So we come out and we measure your opening, no matter what the exterior, what the interior is. You name it, we do it. We find a way to fit that custom window that we make specifically for your home. We fit it to your home.
And you actually send a design consultant out that actually helps them through the process. So it's not only how it functions, but it's how it looks.
Right. They help you with both. They want to make sure that you're getting exactly what you want, but also the efficiency and the ease of what you want. So maybe you want a gliding window where you had a fixed window. So we can help you with all of that.
And again, first 7 callers, 30% off your entire order, 888-713-7210. Thank you so much for listening. This is the Renewal Home Show.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Jobs on the agenda as tech leaders meet with the president-elect at Trump Tower today.
President-elect's chief strategist Steve Bannon in the past has expressed concern that there were too many Silicon Valley CEOs who hailed from South Asia or Asia. At least one company, though, is going to be bringing some welcome news. IBM has announced that it plans to hire 25,000 tech professionals in the U.S.
Fox's David Lee Miller. Final prosecution witness is getting called in the Charleston Church Massacre federal hate crimes trial against Dylan Roof.
Roof's legal team says they too will call witnesses, even though they asserted his guilt to the jury during opening statements.
Fox Radio's Evan Brown. And an Army sergeant who had admitted he'd funneled dozens of assault weapons to a Mexican cartel last year, pleading guilty to charges that include lying on federal firearms forms. This according to the San Antonio Express News. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Holiday shopping can be a real hassle. As if dealing with the mall wasn't challenging enough, it's almost impossible to find something people both want and need. I'm David McNeil, owner of WeatherTech, and I have the perfect gift idea this holiday season: WeatherTech floor liners. WeatherTech floor liners are laser measured to perfectly fit and protect the vehicle's carpeting from spills as well as dirt, snow, slush, and salt. And the best part is, WeatherTech floor liners slide right into the footwell of the vehicle, so there's no assembly required. WeatherTech floor liners are made with American pride, right here in the USA, so you know